Good evening, guys. It's Dr. Travis Ring with Eastern Oklahoma Chiropractic coming to you for day 3 of the hashtag Get Adjusted Movement video series. In case you missed day 1 and day 2, feel free to check out those videos or posted below. Day 3, I've been asked to share my ultimate chiropractic success story. Like I said, day 1 and day 2, I love what I do. I love helping people, and success stories are something that I see in the practice every day. And it's really hard sometimes to quantify a success story. Whether it's a dad who can't go to work because he has lower back pain. When we relieve him of that lower back pain, he can get back to work. That's a huge thing for him. That's a miracle success story for him. Whether it's a stay-at-home mom that has headaches weekly, and when we get a chance to adjust her and her headaches go away, that's a huge success story for her as well. Or a baby that's coming in because they have ear infections. We can relieve the burden off that kid and that family and get them over those ear infections naturally. That's a huge thing for that family. But when I think about my ultimate success story, it involves a little girl named Elizabeth. And it was awesome because she actually came into the practice today and got adjusted. So rewind about 6 months ago, and Elizabeth came in with her mom and dad. She was referred in by her pediatrician. Now, this pediatrician's referred to some cases before, but none quite as complicated as Elizabeth's. She came in, and what she was going through at the time was anytime that she was outside in the heat, she'd get really hot, overheated, increased heart rate, increased respiration, and she couldn't get calmed down. She'd get really overheated. Same thing happened when she would exercise or run around and play. She was involved in karate. Anytime that she exerted herself physically, she would go through these almost like hot flashes where she'd have increased respiration, increased heart rate, and she'd just get really hot. She actually came in the first day to our office, and she's wearing a cooling vest. So it was basically a vest that had all these ice packs in it to keep her body temperature cooler. So they were going through a lot. And like I said, she was referred in by her pediatrician. I think mom and dad came in with limited expectations because the whole year prior to that, Elizabeth had been through it with all different sorts of medical doctors. Her pediatrician, she'd been to specialist after specialist, poked, prodded, tested for this and that, put on medications with little to no relief from this condition. So we examined her, we did a set of x-rays, and I diagnosed her with a subluxation in the top part of her neck. Now, subluxation is a fancy word for a misalignment in the spine. Now, in Elizabeth's case, it was putting pressure on the spinal cord. And in that area, it's actually the brainstem, which controls and coordinates things like heartbeat, respiration, so on and so forth. So I just outlined with her mom and dad, I said, we need to get her adjusted. We need to work on this misalignment and get it corrected and take the pressure off her brainstem. So, again, it's not a straightforward chiropractic case that most people are accustomed to, but the parents had been through it all, and so they said, let's give it a shot. So we got after it a couple days a week, 3 days a week, we were getting her adjusted, and within 2 weeks, the mom came in, and the mom had noticed, already starting to see improvement. She was able to go outside without as many issues. She was able to do more activities, run around and play without as big of an issue. Still having it, but it was much improved. Fast forward 2 months from day 1, and mom reported that she was totally back to her normal self. She was able to go outside in the heat without having to wear the cooling vest. She was able to run around and play with her friends and her brothers. She was able to participate in karate class for the first time in months without having to take breaks because she was getting overheated. So for Elizabeth, that was a huge deal. And that was a huge deal for us as well. We love helping kids, especially because kids deserve the ultimate health. Now, she came into the office today to get adjusted, and it was the coolest thing because she came walking in and she was holding in her hand this black belt that she had just got from completing her black belt test. And she was grinning from ear to ear. And it was the coolest thing because rewind back when she first came and that whole year prior, she couldn't imagine it and her mom couldn't imagine that she could be able to accomplish that because she was struggling so much physically. But we got her fixed up. We got her misalignments, her subluxations corrected, got her back to normal, and she was able to achieve such a great thing with passing her black belt test. So she was stoked. We took a picture, we made a Facebook post, made a huge deal about it. And to me, that's probably the ultimate success story. Taking a kid who was just struggling immensely, and she'd been through it for a year without any resolution. We're able to identify the problem, make those adjustments, correct her subluxations, and allow her body to go back to functioning the way it was designed and programmed to function. It was an awesome story. I love that family. They've referred others in. So that's got a special place in my heart, and I'm so glad that we get to take care of her. So that's day 3, ultimate success stories. Like I said, we see success stories in the practice on a daily basis, whether it's helping with headaches or ear infections or digestive disorders or colicky babies. Those things, so fun for us to take care of. And when we can give individual patients their life back, that's a huge miracle for them. So tomorrow's day 4. Not sure what has in store for us, but come back and we'll get going. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.